Hi, everyone. Welcome to the LA Sober Sessions podcast. I'm Bill Raymond. Please support the brand. Check out our website, lasober.com. And also you can follow us on all of the socials at We Are LA Sober. But today I'm super excited to have our guest on. Our guest is Sean McDonald, and he is the CEO and co-founder of Melting Forest. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Doing good. Good morning. Good to meet you.
You too. We met at this was a few months back. We met at the Psychedelic Summit in Santa Monica.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was really good turnout.
It was a lot larger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got here.
Mm-hmm. So I'm the co-founder of Melting Forest. About 10 years ago, I started a brand called CBD Living. So I've been in the counterculture space, looking at CBD, hemp, THC, different things like that. But it kind of helped me facilitate the journey into Melting Forest. We're in counterculture. We understood who that customer was, and that customer was constantly changing. They were going from being a CBD customer to looking for pain relief in various forms in more of a holistic way. And that kind of shaped the journey of looking towards Melting Forest of how can we bring better for you products that are maybe not mainstream yet into mass market. And that's where Melting Forest was born.
And how did you get into the alternative space?
So I was working actually at a trailer company back in the day at Weekend Warrior Trailers, helping build out the parts department there. Had opportunity to get into the cannabis field. Went into the cannabis field, kind of understood what that was from the purchasing side to growing to all of it back in the good days of California. And that kind of just shaped my journey into CBD. Bill Destegna came to me with an idea for CBD Living that he had started. I helped him grow that from starting with a bottle of water, going to dispensaries. We're the first one in the country with a tastable, clear, tasteless CBD water. We still have that company going today.
And is that CBD, no THC?
Yeah, CBD, no THC. Now, we did go into that with our brand Smokin' Dog that we have today with the hemp THC that we ship around the country, but it started with the foundation of just straight CBD products.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I really thought CBD would have taken off a lot more than it did. Why is that, you think? Is it because of regulation? Because people don't understand really what CBD is, and some people think they're going to get high from it, or what's the...
I think there was a lot. With us, it was a lot of education we had to do, and I think COVID also didn't help with that. Mind you, before COVID, you had a lot of bad actors in the industry that, you'd go out for $5 or $10,000, they'd run you a bunch of white labeled product, you'd have no idea what was in the product.
Yep.
And I think that really helped consumers kind of get uneasy about it, like things weren't working for them, they didn't know the dosage, they didn't know the testing, and that's why I think you kind of had a quick ramp up. And then with COVID and everything else, a quick ramp kind of down. But we've maintained, we've always had test results. We have in-house lab, in-house scientists, and that made us very different in the industry and why we're still here today. Okay.
Yeah, I won't name the brands, but I know some brands that are on TV with some very large marketers. I'm a partner in a direct-to-consumer media agency, and we have like 60 clients. And I know some brands on TV that say they have what they have inside their product, but it's really just...
You mean you can't put 10,000 milligrams into a tiny little capsule?
It's like it's not going to do anything. They just have some stuff that makes it tingle, and that's about it. And then they get away with it.
So that became the issue. Just a lot of bad actors, really, consumer fear. I think then regulation wasn't fully there, so you didn't have any of the big grocery retailers really stepping up. So we built our market share in the hemp holistic smoke shop space. Yeah, and that actually became the foundation for Melting Forest.
And we'll get into it a bit more, but I think to start, let's break down in let's call it functional mushrooms for dummies, and so for people that don't know the difference between a functional mushroom and a magic mushroom, what's the difference?
Yeah, the big thing is you're not going to get a psychoactive effect from it. Traditional magic mushrooms, that people think of, you're foraging those in the forest. Generally, they're dung-loving mushrooms. It's a whole different category of mushrooms that you're getting, head change, a psychoactive effect, a buzz, THC effect, those type of things, a trip. Whereas the functional side of things, we're looking at the molecule of it. We're extracting like the beta glucan, the functional ingredient that's actually helping with these benefits for cognitive function, for energy, for liver support that we just put into our new mocktail line with Entrodia. So it's the functional benefit of just a better for you ingredient. At the end of the day, mushrooms, they're just another ingredient like vitamin C. They have their benefits, and that's what we're really leaning into heavily.
And are they grown the same way? Are they? It's just
very differently. Generally, all of the functional mushrooms are actually wood-loving mushrooms, so they're actually grown on the side of trees, things like that. More so, where psychedelics, for the most part, have always been grown actually dung-loving mushrooms. So they're actually two different categories of mushrooms for the most part.
Wait, so the second ones are so those are inside the ground.
Correct.
And then these are mostly in trees.
Yeah, usually you see them like grown on the side of trees. They're wood grown. Generally, a lot of the kits you see online, you'll see they're selling dung loving kits generally, so you can inject spores for psychedelic mushrooms, or those for growing your own at home. It's wood chips, wood kits,
okay,
or lion's mane, cordyceps, those type of things.
And then again for the functional mushrooms, what are the properties that make it so it's a positive experience for us humans?
Yeah, so with ours, it's different because we actually are using the clinically studied versions of them. So the partners that we have in the ingredient side, they actually went out and did clinicals to say, this mushroom will help with cognitive function, this will help with all these various things. So there's clinical behind them, versus you can generally search Google and it'll say lion's mane does all these things. Well, every ingredient within reason in some dose will do something for you. We went out just to make sure that we were putting the best in there. So if I put in a mushroom like lion's mane that'll say, it helps with cognitive effect, you actually were getting a cognitive benefit because we're actually putting enough in the product to help do that.
Okay. And a lot of other brands out there maybe say it, but they don't put enough in it because their cost of goods go up and then their margins shrink.
Yeah, we've seen that. I mean, day one, just like with our CBD company, what you see was what you got. We wanted to make sure that we had fun branding, but we're actually putting in truly efficacious doses in the product to give you a benefit. Because you can try something, you can like the flavor, you'll try it once, okay, cool, but are you going to buy it again? You have to really love it. With this, we wanted to make sure that, one, the branding stood out, number two, the flavor was great, but number three, if you actually drink that can, you actually felt the effect, and that was going to lead you to want to buy it more so than just looking cool and tasting good.
And when someone drinks it, how quickly do you feel the effect that?
So it depends on the line. We've got 3 different lines now with our, functional energy, of course, with the backup of caffeine in there. So you're going to feel that onset pretty quick, especially being water soluble. And then our de-stress line, that's got a higher level of L-theanine in there to really help you just kind of relax. Take it in the morning, take it in the evening, take it before you go on a podcast, help with the anxiety. So because everything's, you're drinking a product, you generally have a faster absorption of it, so you should feel the effects pretty quick, 15 minutes, 30 minutes or so.
Okay, so this is the functional energy, and so this would be one that you would take inside the morning, or when you want a bit of a pick me up. So instead of a coffee, I'm a big coffee drinker, so this would be a perfect one for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me try this one. So this is the cheers.
Cheers.
So this is the strawberry lemonade flavor. That's really good. Mm-hmm. And I see that there's 0 sugar in it.
Yep. So we made sure everything's naturally sweet, and we set it up to the standards of Whole Foods. We figured that's the highest standards pretty much in the country. And we set up so it can go in Whole Foods. That was the idea. If it can go in Whole Foods, it can go everywhere as a better for you product.
Okay. This one looks good. I like the can, how it fills. It's a nice little label on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, day one we went straight to direct print just to make it look sharp on the shelf.
Oh my God, that is really, really good.
Thank you.
I really like that. Yeah, because LA Sober is about not drinking in any booze, but many people that I know and that follow us have just started to drink less and less. So you said that like with these is they can use this and then maybe just have a little less booze in it instead of making a super strong cocktail.
Yeah, what we're seeing, these days a lot of people are using the term zebra striping, where it may be, having a beer and then having water, and then maybe having another beer, but at least you're having less beer. Instead of having the 4, you might have 2 because you're having water. With this, the idea was with the mocktails, you can have that, they look cool, they taste great. You can have that at a setting with your friends in a social gathering. But if you also wanted to use them as a mixer, at least you're having a more beneficial, better for you mixer at that point. If you did put, tequila, for instance, into the margarita, the rosemary margarita.
Or you could even, I look at it is I buy some liquid THC that you could throw in there as well that can do the trick.
Exactly.
And so, what are some of the different hurdles that have come up that you didn't expect when you went out on this venture? Because the brand started when in 2000?
Yeah, it started right. Really, we're just 18 months in business as of today is how I look at it. From by the time we actually had product in hand, ready to launch, 18 months.
Okay, and since you started, what are some things that have come up that you go, oh my God, I didn't think of that? Or
yeah, I mean, branding aside, branding's out there. So that was one of the things, even with our other brand, CBD Living, we ran into that because we called it CBD Living on the front. That made it issues with Facebook, merchant, all of that, instead of calling it just some other name. With this, Melting Forest, the name was fine, but the branding's definitely out there. Good and bad with that. We think more good than bad because it's intriguing a lot of people. But you do have some buyers in conversation that just get a little uneasy. But now that we were getting into enough stores, we start to show them the data behind it. And they're like, okay, obviously there's no psychedelics. It's a better for you product, and the consumer just loves the branding. It stands out. And that's what you have to do.
No. I mean, like you look at Liquid Death. So when I first saw that, I'm like, what is wrong with, like, who would come up with water name that? Well, God, was I wrong? Because I mean that guy's killed it because he's so different and he stands out. But I did think the same thing when I saw the name at first. I'm like, well, Melting Forest, I enjoyed getting a head change. So I'm like, I loved it, but I could see how the consumer at first may go, oh, well, is it something I'm going to get high on? Because you think of like Melting Forest, that at least I go there. But it does really stand out. Is your vision to over time to come up with a drink that maybe has other properties in it, like a THC in it, or
for Melting Forest directly? No. I mean, we love the branding, the intrigue of all of it, but with this, we're going to stay to just strictly functional across the board. Now, other brands, of course, we're always open to that.
Okay,
we love brands.
Well, maybe then we can do a LA sober SKU.
Yeah,
I like that idea. And when you look at the demographic of this consumer, who is it right now?
So we've been looking, I mean, we have retailers ask us all the time, who's your consumer?
Yeah.
And, I always look at, like, we're in Bristol Farms here locally, and like on a Senior Tuesday, we do just as well as we do in the King Soopers Kroger division in the college towns. So we're finding there's just a mixture of different consumers, young to old, that in some way, shape, or form are intrigued by the graphics. We all have some mushroom thing in our life, whether it's the Smurfs, Super Mario, Last of Us TV show.
I fully forgot about
mushrooms somehow we all just get attracted to. And it's like the whole world comes together around certain ingredients. CBD was that for some time.
Yep.
Right now it's mushroom. I go into Home Depot and I pick up my Expo West decorations because there's mushroom decor everywhere. So it's very interesting that the world's coming together. And we're finding, young to old, those that are, 18 plus having the caffeine side of it. We're all stressed, start in the morning stressed, and just need to take that edge just to help you focus throughout the day, get through a podcast, or at the end of the night just to help you just relax. A lot of people take our de-stress to help them sleep. So we're finding just such a wide age demographic.
And when you look at the sales, is it more on the coastal? Is it more in the liberal states?
So we just launching, of course, in California, it was easier to get into the natural stores here, especially with the story of who we are and where we came from. But we're finding it's quickly expanding, middle America as well. They're all looking for a better for you product. Mm-hmm. And I think the better for you plus the branding is really vibing with middle America. And I thought it would sway more one way versus another. It's not making a difference.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I was this past weekend. I said that we were out in Alabama visiting my daughter that is going to school there, and it's crazy. Like, they're all so healthy. I mean, don't get me wrong, they still party and things, but they do Pilates, they work out. And when I was in college, like, there was none of that. Like we'd go surf, whatever, maybe go and play some basketball, but we weren't doing classes. Like, most people weren't going to the gym, and now it's so big.
Yeah, it seems like there's more movement just to be more active.
Yeah.
And then with the decline of alcohol, we're seeing as well.
Looking back at your life journey, how did you get into THC and those type of things? Were your parents involved in it? Were they open to it? Was there pushback?
So they were open to, we're serial entrepreneurs, my family.
Yep.
So Italian, Scottish mother, Irish American father. So we grew up, mom worked for United. We traveled around the globe quite a bit because she worked for United. And that, I think, shaped my journey of understanding different cultures, different ingredients, different things. There were, we'd go to the States here and go to the UK and visit family in Edinburgh and be like, how come the products
I've been
aren't
there
here?
before.
And things like that. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful
it's cool there.
City. And just seeing, what was there and what was not here. And I noticed that just, every few years we go back, just trends were very different. They'd be listening to music that we listened to here, 5 years ago. It'd be, they listened to NSYNC and we're 5 years away for it. Of course, NSYNC's back popular again.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. So even recently, just a few days ago, I had my chief revenue officer, David, was in the UK at the beverage conference there, understanding the market. And they are quickly rising to the trends a lot quicker than we expected. That's why we're also launching in Canada. So we're seeing these other countries are kind of shaping quickly for a better for you movement. And I think my upbringing with my father, my mother, that international development helped me understand that, it's a small world, either way you look at it.
Yeah. And now so much more, everyone's on their phone. They see what we see, and there's so much crossover. Speaking of travel, like, where is your favorite place that you have ever gone to?
Edinburgh, definitely. I mean, went there many, many times growing up. Edinburgh definitely be one, but I mean, all over Europe's beautiful.
Yeah.
Spain, Italy, all over that. But I mean, that's the goal with Melting Forest is we keep pushing around countries, and then I get to visit them as well.
Yeah. So I went to Europe for the first time 3 years ago. Growing up in Palm Springs, we didn't really travel much. Like, we'd go down to the beach. We went to Maui a few times, and so when we first went, my youngest daughter was 10, and there is no better education than seeing how other people live, and it really opens your eyes up across all things. So you guys are right now, you're sold in stores. What stores are you in right now?
So we started in the Natural Channel in California. So we're in the Bristol out here, Gelson's, Lazy Acres. But now we'll end the year about 2,200 retail accounts. So heavily distributed through like KE Unify, broadliners, so across the country. But the best way is a store locator on the website. What's
besides the SKUs you have here? What's next for it? Like are there other SKUs that you can think of that you want to bring out?
I mean, we have a lot of ideas for different SKUs and just find the right category for them. But we're 18 months in and we've got 14 SKUs. We have an instant matcha and instant coffee as well. So 14 SKUs in 18 months. We're gonna take a pause for a moment. Really build out what we have in front of us in these different categories with the network we have. But there's some others on the horizon. Okay,
and you could do this too, where these are ready to drink. But could you make this so it would be like a scoop of powder that would go into
a sachet or a stick pack or things like that? Yeah, it's not impossible to do. And we've looked into that as we expand, where it makes sense. Just, you want to be in various parts of the store and also make it easy and convenient to ship.
Yeah. Are there any health concerns with these in terms of, like, if I wanted my daughter to drink it, is that bad for her, or is it?
No, the only limiting factor would just be caffeine based on each person, how much caffeine you want to intake if it's the energy line. But outside of that, no, all great ingredients.
And what about if someone is pregnant like your wife?
Yep.
Can she drink them?
Yeah, she can. Yep. Of course, always, look at your doctor, your holistic provider. But yeah, my wife, she enjoys the de-stress.
As a business owner, for us, one thing that we don't always struggle with, but it's when we are building something out, it's always cash flow. Do you guys have backers, or is it just you? Or
So originally, my partner and I, we bootstrapped it to start it, and then we brought in a friends and family round.
Okay.
To really just bring the close network together with us. But we're trying to really limit how much we intake, just to really prove ourselves and get the brand out there. We have certain targets to hit, and right now we're on track to hit them all.
That's awesome. And is there a lot of competition in this space for this niche?
Functional drinks are trending right now, so there's plenty of functional drinks coming to market. Each of them have their own areas, but we feel we've carved out a good section, and we're really getting a nice following behind it. The consumers are really enjoying the product. The people that work at the stores that we love, they're becoming our best brand ambassadors. I was in a Bristol Farms the other day, and I didn't have a branded shirt on, and I'm just looking at different drinks, seeing what's on the market. It's the best way of just seeing what's out there. And I had one of the girls come up to me and say, "Hey, you don't want that drink. You want to have Melting Forest." And then I was like, "Well, yeah, I am Melting Forest." And I pulled out my business card. She's like, "Oh, wow, we love your product." And she had stickers on her little station.
Oh, I love
at the
it.
Bristol Farm. So it is very interesting. You don't find that very often.
You are on the LA Sober podcast. What's your thoughts on what we're doing here and trying to build?
No, there's definitely a movement towards it. I mean, I'm finding myself drinking less. I know my younger brothers, aren't drinking as much. I mean, we were at a wedding a few weeks back, and I was shocked that there was mocktail alternatives, and ours were not ready yet. Otherwise, we would have had them there at the bar instead of the bartender trying to make their own. But there's definitely a movement towards it, and I think it's better. It's getting us outdoors more. I drank. We all partied. I didn't like the 2, 3, 4 day hangovers as it would feel like.
Yeah. No.
So
yeah.
It's less and less and less. And then with my own lineup now, that I found myself being my own consumer the other night at a poker game. I was sitting there drinking on a mocktail. I was like, oh, I fully understand this now.
Yeah. No. It's as you get older, when you become my age, it even gets harder and harder, and especially you have one child and you have one more coming. It's gonna.
I mean, a lot of de-stress, 2 girls.
Yeah. But I mean, and I'm sure you hear this from everyone. It does go by so fast. So just enjoy it, because it really is a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I'm noticing that between the company and the girls growing up.
Yeah. What's some advice you would give to someone that is looking to start their own brand?
Yeah, I'd say like a lot of the forums are great. I mean, I have a lot of good, mentor CEOs that I became friends with in the industry of beverage that, everybody's open to conversation. You may see some major CEO of a company and think they're not approachable. Go up and talk to them and you'd be surprised. So that I've really found. There's some great communities out there. Shelf Made is one of them. Startup CPG is another. There's a lot of good communities to really help you just network and grow with one another.
I was at Expo West this past year, and I've been going to that for the last 10 years, I think. And for those out there that don't know what that is it's the largest wellness and food for like natural out there, and it's massive. They have it in Anaheim, and it is like just, I don't know how many people are there. I mean, I want to say, I think they go through like 120,000 people in like 4 days. Were you guys there?
We were. Yeah, we were there for 2 years downstairs. We had a big mushroom display, big beverage coolers with big mushroom tops, and the whole grass flooring. And it's a great activation. And we love those events too, because we're seeing the consumers are generally the people that are working the booths. A lot of time is the sampling people. So when they get their breaks, they're coming over to us and telling us, "Hey, I saw you guys here at this store. I love your brand." So for us, we almost look at it as an activation more than retailers. Of course you hope to get retailers at events like that, but we love it just from the feedback we get from the general people working the events that are our consumers.
Yeah, it's funny. So I actually went this past year. Like I was traveling, and so we went on Friday, and I think it was their last day. And I mean, they have so much food there. Like if anyone ever goes there, don't eat. It's like Costco tasting on steroids. And we were there, and as our closing, you see people with just these huge carts that are just going out and taking all the leftovers.
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
I mean, it was like I mean, people had their baskets up to here with everything you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of the brands too, especially the ones that aren't local like us,
Yeah.
it's not worth the money to ship those back.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, the last day you can definitely fill up some serious bags of product.
First thing you do every morning.
Well, actually, I get up every morning. I take the dog on a walk, and I either have my mushroom coffee or I have a melting forest energy to start the day.
What type of dog do you have?
A little Maltese, little rat Maltese.
Oh, I have the same thing. Ours is like a Maltese slash Chihuahua slash, but he's so angry and he's so moody, and I love that guy to death. Like I never thought I would be a guy that would have a small little white dog, and I don't think I will ever have another big dog. Like we grew up with Rottweilers and dogs like that, but these dogs are the best.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd have a big dog as well, and just that little small dog cuddles up next to you.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
They go in your car. If they poop
Yep.
in the house, it's a small poop. It's not. There's no big thing there. One book or podcast or person who inspires you.
Growing up, it was actually Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
I really appreciated him.
Okay. Why?
My father did a lot of work in the industry, the movie industry, doing lenticular image was his company, and he did a lot of the holograms. Before he had LCD screens, LED screens, it was all the 3D cards, and you'd look at it with the light angle, it would change back and forth. So he actually shot the Jurassic Park movie cover, and that had the hologram built into it. So that was just really inspired me, and I really got into that whole directing and all of it for some time there in my youth.
What does your dad think now about the whole AI movement?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's good and bad with it.
Yeah.
I do think we need, regulation. We both have a similar mindset that there's definitely certain areas of the job force that make sense, and there's some that we got to be very careful and protect.
Yeah, I mean, God, that space is just. I mean, every day is new and new, but yeah, I agree that there's so much good with it, but there's so much bad with it too.
Yeah, and we're almost forced to use it every day. I Google search and it's using AI automatically.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I'll say that I almost just use chat for every single thing. Where my entire family is like, we know, we're looking at chat.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new term. You don't Google it, you chat it.
Yeah, you chat it. What is the hardest thing about being a founder?
I think it's the pressure, knowing that, especially whether you raise money or not, just the failure of it all.
Yep.
And really just dealing with those challenges and navigating what's the right path, and knowing that you're going to fail in different aspects, but you just hope the overall journey's not a failure.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say that I feel like when I do fail, that's when we learn the most, and you can take those learnings to be a positive because you're not going to do that same thing again.
Yeah, we never stop learning every day.
Yeah.
Constantly learning. I was just at an event yesterday up here, Founderland, with a bunch of CPG founders, and just constantly being like a sponge in the room, just absorbing all the knowledge I can.
It's great. For you, alcohol or mushrooms, what's better for a night out?
I rarely drink as it is anymore, so I do find myself just having one of my mushroom drinks. Like the other night at a poker game, had friends over, and I'm sitting there drinking on my own mocktails.
Look at you. What's one wellness hack that everyone should try?
Overall, I mean, outside of my
Yeah.
own product, simplest thing in the world, we all just need to drink more water in general.
That's so my whole thing is I don't drink a lot of water during the day, but when I started on this journey of drinking less and less, and now I don't drink at all, I started to drink hot water, just plain hot water, nothing else, and I drink it at night, and it would calm me down because you get hot water in you, and I just take it out of the super hot one, and it cools down a little bit. And it just soothes me. And then every morning before I drink coffee, I make myself drink another thing of water. And my wife would make fun of me about it. She's like, "You drink hot water? What is wrong with you?" And now she does it, and she drinks hot water all day long. And it really is, it's weird. It's like, even if you're hot, you can still drink hot water, and you don't feel like you're hotter. And it just, yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to try that.
Yeah, that's one of my hacks. Biggest myth about mushrooms?
Well, I think just the education piece, thinking that all of them, have some psychedelic properties.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest thing.
and coming on the podcast. We are excited to. Cheers again.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Very nice to meet you, and I'm gonna enjoy my functional energy.